Good evening. It's our second live stream this week. It's February 24, 2022. It's the day that Putin invaded the Ukraine and starting a third world war if it's going in this direction. But let's keep away from that and let's start the show for today. Welcome back. I've been 15 minutes late because my monitors were all mingled around, not on the right place. Somehow Windows decided that each one was on a different location today. But let's quickly move to the code window. I already started Visual Studio to check if there's an update available. And I don't think it is. Although there is a .NET 7 preview, but that needs to be installed separately. It's a sad day these days because Russia decided to invade the Ukraine, and that's very close to Europe, so it's almost our neighbor, so to say. I think it's next to Poland, and that's not good for anyone. I don't think it's even good for the Russian people because they will get hit by all kinds of sanctions, and there's actually a war going on. Let's open this one and go to the Office add-in. We're doing Blazor development with Office add-ins again, continuing, I should say. See what we can do with that. It's officially unsupported by Microsoft, but I think it's a challenge to use it, and it's also interesting to see what we can do with it. You can improve startup by hiding collapsing browser link dashboard. Let's keep that in. Today I also want to have a look if I can get some more feedback from the JavaScript and interact with that on the interop between C# and OfficeJS. Also going to have a look at the GitHub repo. Let's see what's on the project backlog. Is it not positioning? There it is. Blazor add-in. OfficeJS docs. What did Alex put in there? Let's have a quick look. Word quick start. Let's this document. Oh, that's now a const. A constant range. And a const body. They look like snippets. Quick starts. That's all. So what was the comment on that? Switch let to const. Why? There's no specific reason for that. But we can do the same in our code. That's good. Updating JavaScript patterns in Word articles. This PR updates the JavaScript samples in the Word-specific articles to match the modern JavaScript patterns to use that async await reviews. Please note that I was unable to successfully run the Word tutorial with Visual Studio under any circumstance. Okay, let me know what the problem is, if that problem is happening to you too. Run the Word tutorial. This one. What I found so far. Try a quick start and let you know the outcome. Some quotes removed. Return context. Okay. Changed it to await. What's changed in here? The Word add-in can resend a request to the Word document and use the JavaScript. Just removed can. Can one send a request to the Word document and use JavaScript to access paragraph and update or move the paragraph. For example, following code shows something blah blah blah. And there's text, insert text into range, replace to do with to do 3. This should be remain to do 2 since it was skipped from the previous section. So this reverted back. So where's the original file then? There. Apply style. Custom style. Insert text into range. That's interesting. Some old stuff in there. Replace text. Can we have the full document here? View file. Visual Studio, there's the example. Await context. Is this the updated one? Duplicate this one, duplicate this tab, and then go back here. Can we see this file, full file? So let's quickly check. This is 23. Is it visible in here? That's the new one. we can test this by adding a new page in our Blazor add-in. Update the code. Function onReady. Insert Amazon quote. Insert Chekhov quote at the beginning. Chinese quote. This is styling. Header, main, padding. Update the manifest. Try it out. Let's see, because this one should probably also be on the docs environment. Microsoft docs. No, that's not the document. Build your first Word add-in. Copy. I think this is this one. Yes, that's this document. If you want to follow this for Visual Studio, there. Let's try this and then we can maybe put it in our example. You can create an Office add-in by Geoman. Geoman generator creates a Node.js project. Visual Studio 2019, so that should be 2022. Let's go to the full document there. Create an add-in project. Visual Studio there. Prerequisites. That's including the quick start prerequisites. Something like this. Visual Studio 2019. That should be 2022. So let's follow this. Include description of Visual Studio projects. Contains an XML file and a web application. So it's all nested. This documentation site on GitHub. That's really hard to maintain if you don't know the insights for this. let's do this. Let's start clean. Visual Studio. And then we can probably adopt this in the Blazor version. Let's pick a new one. I think it's a new one. Create new project. Using search box, enter add-in. Add-in. Choose hit enter. Oh, that's not what I want. Go back. Add in. I would expect something in here. Oh, it's just very slow. And then choose Word Web Add-in and select next. Word Web Add-in. Word Web Add-in. Word Web Add-in. That's this one. Click next. Name your project and select create. Let's make this 20. What's today? 24. 2022 24. And it was called something like build your. Let's remove all the spaces there. Your first Word task, no, not RASC, task pane. Add in something like that. Now let's remove the hyphen as well. And then, according to this, just create. This should probably build a manifest and a website. Creating the project. There we have some HTML. Use strict. That's the browser link thingy again. Now let's get back in here. Create, that's what we did. Visual Studio creates a solution and its two projects appear in Solution Explorer. Home.html is opened in Visual Studio. Home.html indeed is opened in Visual Studio. What's in there? That's the website that is created. Explore the Visual Studio solution. Well, that's about this part. If we go in here, the project you've completed the wizard. The Visual Studio creates a solution that contains two projects. Add-in project. That's the this one, I think. add-in project and web application, so it's the other way around. The add-in project is called this one. Build your first web, that's the other one. Contains only an XML file which contains all the settings that describe your add-in. These settings help the application, Office application determine when your add-in should be activated and when the add-in should appear. Visual Studio generates the contents of this file for you so that you can run the project and use your add-in immediately. You change these settings anytime by modifying the XML file. The web application contains the content pages of your add-in, including all the files and file references that you need to develop Office-aware HTML and JavaScript pages. While you develop your add-in, Visual Studio hosts a web application on your local IIS server. I'm not sure if that's really your IIS server. When you're ready to publish the add-in, you'll need to deploy this web application to a web server in the cloud, that is. Okay. That's what I believe is true. Update the code. So we need to copy the HTML, replace the body. Okay. Copy, go here and go to the body. And we are replacing the body. And format it. It's interesting that the body is not indented, but yeah. Open the home.js in the root application, the root web application project. There. The file specifies the script for the add-in. Replace the entire content with the following code and save the file. Copy. Replace all the content and paste it in. Try is expected. Function is a reserved word that cannot be used here. That's interesting. Oh, I think that's an error. Because this one should be attached to this part. I think the semicolon is not in place. So that's wrong. Let's have a look at this. See? There's an error in there. That's bad. So, okay, that's already an error I found. Because I would think this should be there. And then also this one there. That's not good. Now the indenting is not right. Because this should be something like this. Let's see if the alignment is now right, because this one is part of one's that one. That one's that one. I think something's wrong there. Return context. Await context. This one, that's from the word run function. Where's this one? Yeah, that's that one. This part is from starting the run. That's matching this one, that's correct. This one is matching, should match this one, yes. And this one, that's matching the start of the catch. So that's correct, but this one is matching this one, that's good. And we have this one, part of that function, and that will be this one. Yeah, so this one is also not right. Did I fix them all now? Looks like it. Okay, so that's an error. Let's go back to the documentation there. Let's do it from this page. No, not this one, this one. There. Open the file home CSS. The file specifies the custom styles for the add-in and replace the entire content with the following code. Copy. Home.css. Home.css. The entire code there. Paste. Save. Update the manifest. So we are going to update the manifest. Update the manifest. That's this one. Go to provider name element and put in your own name. Then default value attribute of display name. Replace it with my office add-in. This one. My office add-in. The description, replace it with a task pane add-in for Word. Copy. Save the file. So John Doe, there's my office add-in, task pane add-in, try it out. Use Visual Studio to test a newly created Word add-in by pressing F5 and choosing the start button to launch a Word with the show task pane add-in button. In Word, choose the Home tab and then choose Show Task Pane button in the. What is it saying? Use Visual Studio, test the newly created add-in by pressing F5 or choosing the Start button to launch Word with Show Task Pane add-in displayed in the ribbon. This add-in will be hosted locally on IIS. I think this last part is not true. By pressing F5 or choosing the Start button to launch Word with this Show Task Pane add-in button displayed. This can only be done if you have side-loaded the thing. In Word, choose the Home tab and then choose Show Task Pane button in the ribbon. Because this one, let's see. This can only be done if it's already side-loaded. So that's not true. In Word, choose the Home tab and then choose Show Task Pane button in the ribbon to open the add-in task pane. If you're using the one-time purchase version of it instead of the Microsoft 365, then custom buttons are not supported. The one-time purchase version of Office. What's the one-time purchase version of Office? Cool. It's licensed for one install only. Why is it not allowed to have? Oh, that's not allowing to have customizations. I wasn't aware of that. Instead of the Office Microsoft 365 version, then custom buttons are not supported. Instead, the task pane will open immediately. Oh, really? I didn't know that. In the task pane, choose any of the buttons and to add boilerplate text to the document. Console tool node. Let's see what's in the console tool node. Note, to see the console log output, you need a separate set of developer tools. You need a separate set of developer tools for JavaScript console. To learn about F12 tools and the Edge Dev tools with Visual Studio, visit Debug add-ins using developer tools for Internet Explorer. Ouch, Internet Explorer. Debug add-ins using developer tools for Edge Legacy. Debug add-ins developer tools in Microsoft as Chromium based. Three options there. Next step, congratulations, you created your web task, your task pane add-in. Let's run this and see if it's working. Now we get a Show Task Pane button. The question is, which one is it? I think it's a Show Task Pane with the logo in there. Or maybe that's the Blazor version. That's the Blazor version. That's my add-in. Let's check this one. That's the one. If you go to the documentation, you see it's this one. And to see the console log output, you just can do something like inspect in here. And if you, oh, that's the wrong one. Where is it? There. Let's bring that to the side a little bit. Console. This is complaining about the fave icon. It's apparently not in the default project. Let's first have a look at this. Add quote from Ralph Waldo Emerson. Hitch your wagon to a star. And we get some console output here. Add a quote from Ralph Waldo Emerson. That works. Add a quote from Anton Chekhov. Not if that's the right selection for this day, where Russia invaded the Ukraine. Not sure if Anton Chekhov is a Russian person. Where is it? There. Anton Chekhov. Oh, he's a Russian writer, so that's a bad choice for today. Well, but anyway, he's in the demo, so add a Chinese proverb. To know the road ahead, ask those coming back. That's smart. Well, that's working. Let's have a look at the DevTools there. We have three quotes. That's right. That all looks good. So let's bring in some comment in the repo there. You can do it inline, I think. Here it's right. Let's see where this is. That's a pull request. This one is different. Because the error is not in this one, I think. View file. Apply custom style. Is this a different one? That's a different one. Yeah, this is a different one. Where is it? This one is wrong. The quick start is wrong. View file. Yeah, this one is wrong. Two hours ago. This one. That's okay. There. So this one is not right. Review changes. That's not right. Let's see what's the best way to do this. Updating JavaScript patterns in Word articles. That's the pull request. Reviewers. Can I assign myself? Files changed. Najert. I know this message is gonna come 15 minutes late, but it's okay. I just want to say good night. Good night. Thanks for stepping by again. I was also a little late to read your comments, I think. How to make Google make changes to a pull request. GitHub. Changing the base of base branch of a pull request. You make a new request for B that gets reviewed. Create a new branch, fixes from the repository upstream, which you intend to send the pull request by doing git branch fixes upstream development. Add your refined comment directly into this newly created batch. Checkout master, correcting for PR comments. Fetch parent. These are the pull. This is the pull request. This one. Code. That's this. Let's see if I can do that. C temp, C data, repos, new folder, 2022 02 24-2. CMD. Yeah. That we need to do. Let's make this, put this aside, notepad. I need to clone it first. I did clone it first, I think. But let's do that again. Four commits ahead, 2 commits behind. Code, clone. CD Office. Now we can do the other one. Code dot. This probably has something. Documents. And what file is it about? Pull request. This one. Commits for this one. And the one with the error in there is this one. Docs quick start word quick start MD. Docs quick start word quick start MD. That should be done like this. That should be this, that, and that one. Or choosing the start button to launch. That's not right. Choose the Home tab. That's this one. Save. Now if I go in here, I'm probably not allowed to make a direct change. Oh, that's not good. Darn it. Did a full reformatting. That's not what I wanted to have in here. So let's revert that back. Revert it back, discard changes, go back in here, let's open this one in File Explorer, let's open that with Notepad. Find bracket, something like this. No, next. This one is wrong. Next. That's good. Let's save this. I'll also go in here for the startup part. Save that. Close it. Go back to here. Let's have a look at the changes. That's much better. Yeah, stage it. Yeah, still the only changes there. Fixed code error. Semicolons. Needs side loading. And now probably I'm not allowed to push it in. Don't think I'm allowed to do this. Let's try that. Would you like to create a fork and push it instead? Yes, create a fork. Allow. Continue. Authorize. Where is my thingy there? Where's my 1Password thing? GitHub password. Open. Open. Fork was successfully created. Create pull request. Sync changes. I think it already did it. Let's have a look at the page there. Go back to pull request there. That's interesting. not changed. It's interesting that it's not done on the other repo, I think. This one. Let's copy the other one. Which one is that? This one. 3272. Reviewed the changes. Contained 3 errors. And start instructions. Created a pull request on the LXJ word branch. Expected it to land in this PR, but created a separate preview. Comment. Okay. They committed 19 minutes ago, so they were just before me. viewers. Okay, well, at least I pushed it in, and they have to find out if it's working or not. So now let's do the opposite thing for us and do the same thing here. We're going to create a new page in here. Let's copy a simple one, I think the hello world. Copy and paste that in. Then rename that to first add-in. Oh, by the way, my hierarchy is now back. Last week, for some reason, my hierarchy was not showing here. Not sure why that was not working. Let's open this, and this should be first add-in. Add-in. And let's have a look at this. Class first add-in. This needs to be first add-in.razor. And the function will be replaced there to something else. Like this. Put a new thing in there, console log. Now go to the other project there. Can we stop this? Don't save. Three changes. Let's start with the HTML there. We had to replace the body. And now we are into Blazor, so we are making some changes there. There's the layout in here. So we don't need the body in here, but we do need part in the middle, and that's the old code. Content header and the class padding. And this is a nice thing that we can do with the local CSS in here. If we do something with the CSS in the local area there, let's copy this and paste it here. Why is it not able to paste it there? Make that CSS. Yes. Now let's kill all the things in there and bring in the CSS from this one. It's not really what I want because I want to match it with the add-in. But to keep it in sync with the demo, then we have the JavaScript thing in there. This is how it should be. And the buttons, this is not what we want to do here, but we just want to do that in the UI. So for instance, we have the hello world thing there. We have a button like this. Bring that into there. Three buttons. 1, 2, 3. And the first one will be the quote from Rolf Waldo. Then the second one from our Russian friend. He's not to blame for anything of the things happening today. We have a Chinese proverb, copy. So we don't need the breaks anymore. Let's see if it all matches. That's this one, that's that one. Yeah. The on-click insert paragraph, that should be something like insert Waldo. And the other one would be insert Chekhov. And the third one, insert proverb. For that we need also 3 buttons in here. Copy, paste, paste, paste. Insert Waldo is the first. Insert Chekhov is the second. Insert proverb is the third. Now let's do the same thing with this thing. And let's get a lower I. Copy. Make that a lower I again. Copy. That should be good, I think. Now do the same thing with the JavaScript thingy there. So this part can all go. We don't need to run the function there. Let's have a look. This is how it should be. Let's first remove this part. It's not needed. I'm not going to check for the support set. Export function. Export and export. I think there's something missing there, like the bracket. That's matching this one. That's good. Let's kill the strict there as well. Return context sync. That's done in here. So this one is async, as it looks like. Something like that. Why is there squiggly in there? Name padding does not exist in the current context. Padding. Padding. That's the padding. Let's build this and see if it's breaking or not. Oops. Preprocessor expected. Content header. There's the class thingy there. Let's have a look at the other project. My website. Solve this in software. Let's clean it up a little bit here. if you just hit F5 in Visual Studio, this will all be managed by VS. So invalidates add in. Let's fix all these squigglies there. And that's not right. That should be there. This will be, this all will be managed by Visual Studio. No need to side load. Any more once loaded. Oh. Okay, that was a swift response. I was going to look at this, where we have the CSS in place there. Where the class, oh, this the hashtag is an ID, I think. But there's no need to fix the CSS things in here. Let's go back to the Blazor add-in. What's this one? Content header. I don't have an element ID is content header anymore. I think. If I go to the code there, content header. Oh, it is an ID. Yeah. So why is this not working? If I close this and build it, will it still fail? sure why that's failing. I do seem to remember that you need to do something with the JavaScript CSS. What is it? The scoped CSS, I think it's called. Scoped CSS, Blazor. H1. Bundling. Styles. Oh, styles. It should have styles in there. Is that also in here? No, not this one. No. That's the name of the component. Then razor and then CSS. That should be the same in here. First add-in. It's also, yeah, it is recognized there. Content header. Which project is this? Blazor add-in, yeah. So let's change this then maybe to something called class equals to content header, and make that also a class. Then fix it in here. Dot. Let's see if that's working. Why is there semicolon expected here? Oh, really? That's the issue, I think. Padding. No. Why does it need a what is it? Semicolon? Let's close this and reopen it. Because I think there's something wrong here. I can close this as well by now. Open the project again. Blazor add-in. first add-in. I think it's now fixed. So what if we bring that back again? I think this was just confused. And then make that ID again to match it with the ID. To match it with this code. Where is it? There. Let's build it, see if that's working. No, why is that not working? God damn it. I think it just copied something strange in there. That would not be the first one. Copy. Notepad. Copy. It's a lot less, but no, it's not a lot less, it's a lot more. Why is this all failing? So my scope CSS seems to be not working. Why not? If we do this, unstyled. That worked. So if I run this, oh, I didn't have a menu yet. But I can fake it. Loading, yeah. What was it? First add-in. There you are. Stop this and now bring the CSS back in. Still not sure why this mess is in there. Close all. First add-in, then capitalization is correct, is it? Razor CSS, that's correct. Not sure why this is not accepting it. Name padding does not exist in current context. Project is not named CSS, I think, with a dot because I saw failure. Let's bring in the CSS again. Did we do that already? Yeah. If I run this, no, that's failing. The namespace, is the namespace incorrect? Blazor pages, that should be good. Let's quickly reopen the other one again. JavaScript Interop. Nav menu. Thanks for following. The real Viper random. The real Viper random. Welcome to the stream. We are building an add-in based for Office based on Blazor. That's never done before. Let's have a look at this. This is also Blazor, but I'm looking at the scoped CSS there, like this. And that's not accepted by the application for some reason, not recognized. This is the web. So I'm not sure why the scoped CSS is not working anymore. Yeah, there was something not there. The layout maybe. Nothing there. Let's search for the name. As a component, should it be a component-based thing then? Don't think so. Using shared, this one. kind of forgot what the issue was when you use the scoped CSS for that. Yeah, it's this one. You have to bring in this one. That's the thing that you need to do. I should have created a blog for this, because you have to put the web styles in there, the project styles CSS, and this will be resolved. So we have to go into index.html in the project. There's an index.html in here as well, somewhere. There it is. And oh, there it is already. So why is that not working? So it is already there. So why is that not working then? Because if the project has things like the other project has .web in the name, that will fail. But that's not the case in this one. Blazor add-in. That's the name for this project. So this is already in there. Maybe it needs to be on top of things. Base href. There's a title. Base href. Bootstrap. An app. And this one is obsolete. Manifest. So that's also okay, if this is already in place. What I can do, obviously, if we go into here, clean the solution. And it's still complaining about some stuff there. Let's go into file location and just kill the object and the bin folder. Then rebuild it. Let's see if that fixes something. It's complaining about padding, but why is it complaining about padding? Oh, it's not only padding. If I look at the other project, this one, let's have a look at the styling there. We have a component, there's nothing in there. Inherited, so the class will be something like button switch and something, and that will be styled by this button twitch. So that's working. Something is not right on this part. Is it this dash? No. Content main. One lion raiding again. How are you doing? Hello, hello. Happy Thursday. It is still Thursday in my place. Well, your place as well. Because you're hours behind on me. It's almost Friday for me in 1 hour. I'm running into an issue where my local scoped CSS is not working for some strange reason. Where is my thingy there? First add-in. Friday in 1 hour, yes. But we are also almost in war with Russia, so that's a sad thing. Class is padding. Oh, this is still class. Yeah, it's very sad. Could it be that you're trying to apply styles to a nested component? I'm not seeing any nested components. What do you mean with nested components? You have, oh, is that what you mean? Because it's in a page. Oh, does it only work for page for real components? Because I have it working in here with components, where we have the CSS in there. So if you had a subcomponent inside of this component, yeah. So why doesn't that work for pages? Okay. Well, in that case, I need to just make it a little bit different. Then for now, removing the local scope thingy. Where is it? There. Works fine for those. You would just use deep to target nested child components. But it's not really a nested component. It's just a page, the first add-in page in this case. And if I just clean the CSS, that obviously will work if I run this. I said if they run this, is it already running? No, it's not running. Then it obviously will work. That way is if I bring in a button for that. First add-in. So that's good, but my padding is off right now. So what I'm doing is I'm converting a real demo like this one into my Blazor add-in, and that should work. Let's have a look if this is actually working. Oh, I need a button for that first. Let's add a button in the menu first. Where's my Blazor add-in? There. Where's my navigation? There. Bring in another button. Sometimes the project doesn't pick up the isolated CSS immediately. Yes, that's also what I ran into a couple of times earlier, and then rebooted my Fish Studio or something. And then all of a sudden it started to work out of the magic. That's why I also deleted my the bin and object folder, because what it's sneaking something in the back of the project to make this local scope things possible. First add-in. first add-in. See 2 messages up. 1, 2. After adding scope CSS, you have to have you tried clean and rebuild? Yeah, that's what I did. Let's do that again. Am I in the right project? This is the add-in demo from Microsoft, and there's the CSS. I copy the CSS in there, go in here, then bring it in there, because now if I build it, it's working, I think. No issues at all, yeah. So if I paste it in here, and there you go, all these errors. One other place to look, if you haven't the actual is the actual CSS get request in dev tools network. Click on the CSS to get the isolated. Yeah, but then you need to actually be able to build it, I think. Let's first have a look, because I renamed these into IDs, into classes, so I have to fix that first. Let's make that an ID again, because that's from the original code. Something like this. Yeah, I get errors from adding this. Yeah, that might also be a good option, because what I did, yeah, and that's also, yeah, that's true. I think you're right. Delete that and just create a new one. Where is it? Add. No, need to bring it in there. Add new item, CSS. Let's make Fish Studio think that is actually a CSS in there, and call that first addin.razor.css. Now it's still thinking it's, and I have a body thing in there. Where's the other one? This one. Copy. Guess what? Build it. I think this is the joy of having a preview Fish Studio. Let's run this. Yay! Do I have a menu button now for that? First add-in. And it still don't do my padding, and that's because my button is I use different buttons than the original ones. The styling is a little bit different. That's good. Let's run this in Word now. WinWord. Open a blank document. And there's my task pane. Let's first make sure I load the latest version. Shared folder, refresh this. Click, add, and update this one. Now I have this add-in, and this is not, you see there's one button missing, but I probably have to do Ctrl F5 here, and it's still not the right one. Okay. So to fix that, we need to go into options. At least it compiles yes. Happy lurking, and have a good night. Thanks for the raid again. Yeah. I contacted with Microsoft even, and they were kind of impressed because this was a highly demanded request from a lot of people. But I think the implementation is still not optimal. But at least you can do it, and it's great for demos. Trust Center, catalogs, and we have to clear this. And next time clear that. Okay. Okay. Close this. Don't save. Start Word again. Now we should have no add-in here. Yes, true. We bring in my add-in again. Shared folder. Refresh. Oh, this is, by the way, the web version. Oh, is it still on release? Really? Still running the release version? Yeah, I'm running the release version. That's not good, because I should have the local version. Let's run it again. Because this one will replace the manifest file to the local host version. So now if I open the manifest file in here, you will see that it replaced it by the localhost version. So start in Word again. Open this, and then go load the add-in again. Shared folder, select it. Now you see it's a localhost version. I added some comment there to recognize that it's actually the debug version. Now we should get an extra menu item here. And we get that. It's the hello. Now the first add-in item, this one. Ooh, that's ugly, but at least there's 3 buttons there. I should match it with the layout of the other pages, because I'm now also missing my menu. But let's see if this is working. And it's not working, guys. It's failing. Let's inspect it and see what it's complaining about. WebSocket connection. Why is the WebSocket connection failing? Let's run this. Ooh. Could not find insert Waldo. Insert Waldo is undefined. I think that's has to do with that I created this one async. The interop is failing now. Let's stop the thing there. Don't save. Blazor. This one has the interop. No, not the interop in place. So this one can close now because the local CSS is now fixed. That's done. And the build Word add-in. This is the Blazor add-in. Let's find all the export items. Why is it not finding any export? This export here in my face and it's not finding it. File types, not picking CS and JavaScript. JavaScript is not an option. duplicate that. Still not finding it. Why? Let's have a look manually then. Because that's not async. Is this one async? This one is async. But that's not used. Export async. That's the same. Export async function. Did I just not name it correctly? There. Export async function. Export async function. By the way, let's quickly see if the pull request already was adopted by Microsoft. There's a check there now. No response on that yet. Oh, I already see what the issue is, because this function is called something completely different. Copy, insert Emerson. Where is it? In here. Insert Emerson, that's this one. Then Chekhov. Where's Chekhov? Oh, I also need to clean this out. It's from the copied file. No, not from index. Whoa, I'm making a mistake there. This one, then this one. Chekhov, this is the Chekhov quote. No, not that one, this one. Then we have the Chinese proverb. Copy. You do need to put in the right naming, otherwise it's not working. That's now working, I think. Rebuild and apply changes, yes. Applying source changes while the application is running. It is not running anymore. Yeah, let's load this into Word. What? I don't want to. What's this? This is online version? No. I quickly thought that this one, that's completely different. If you do this one, it looks, the menu's changed. The way it just showed the menu was more like the online version, so looks like it's built in there anyway. Let's run this. Let's quickly refresh it to be sure that it's the latest version. Hello world. No, not hello world. First add-in. Quote. That's working. Hitch your wagon to a star. Knowledge is no value unless you put it into practice. And then the Chinese proverb. Do you notice that the first one is added at the top, then the second one is also added at the top, and the third one is added on the bottom of the lines, the last paragraph. So I now need to style it a little bit the way it should be, like this. But at least it's working. Don't save this. Close this. Let's have a look at the eraser there. Hello world. Something like this. So let's do this and then bring the buttons in. Some nice buttons and then the text. This is the text. Copy. Then we have the header. I think there are two headers there. Welcome. Copy. H1. Then there's one header in between. Try it out. Copy. Let's put some, what is it, B2 or something, to bring in the padding without the CSS. Let's kill all of this. Support version is also not checked. So I wasted half an hour by an corrupt CSS file there. This is now also useless, so let's clean this out. No local CSS information needed. So I wasted half an hour there and I'm not even using it anymore. By moving it into the Blazor add-in styling. Yeah, I also need to rebuild the menu actually. Yeah, that's much better. That looks better. Probably not in Word. Maybe this one is too big for Word. Let's load it again. First that in. Oh, even the size of the button is okay now here. That's good. Check off. Then Chinese proverb. How cool is that? Cool. My Blazor converted add-in. What happens if I do this? Ooh. Why is this one not wrapping? Oh, I know, because that's good. Yeah, I need to fix that as well. Because I did not change the... Interesting that it's going right in here. But it should be fixed in the menu, I think. Because I have not transferred this one. This was 5 times 3, that's 15. That's not good. That's 12 divided by 5. That's 2 something. Let's make that 2, 2, 2. That's 6, and 6 is 12. Let's run that again. Control F5 to reload it. Yeah, now the size is a little bit off because this one and this one is a little bit smaller. Go into Word. Where's my Word? There. Load it. Control F5. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, because this is now smaller than this one. Why is this not centered compared to the other one? Maybe I should make them all 2. To make them equally sized. F5. Let's run it in Word again. And then blank document. Load it in here. Let's do an F5, Control F5 to make sure that it's loaded. And now it's equally spaced. I think so. Yeah, this should be... It's not centered anymore because I have 2 columns left. I think it's on the end. That's okay. Let's run this. First that in. Yeah. I don't want to basically put it side by side if it's resizing. If this is even wider, it should still be below the other one. See, that's moving in. So why is that one not moving out? What's the difference there? This one. MD6. Oh, that's also not good because there's no... That should not be right. 6, 12 divided by 3. That's about 4. Rebuild and apply changes. Let's close this up. Also, don't save that. All these minor details that you have to fix. First that in. Oh, now they are going side by side. Let's do it in Word. Show task pane. Yeah. That's working. And a nice fit in the add-in. That's good. Cool. Well, let's submit this and deploy it. Don't save, and then we can close this. And then for now, we're going to put it on release. And let's build it and see if it's working. Build it. If we have issues or not. Build succeeded. The build succeeded. So that's working. So now going to the changes. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 new files. And change the index. With some lines that are not important at all. And the menu is added. Yeah, this one is inserted. And there are 4 files, so the message would be added first add in demo, and that's this one, I think. Where's the document? Not this one. This one. Build your first add-in. Copy. Where's Studio there? Into this Blazor based add-in. Commit all and sync. Syncing with current branch. Resolving. That's working as well. Now go to GitHub. To my own GitHub this time. See how the action is running. Actions there. It's running. Let's wait for that. In the meantime, let's go to the pull requests in here. Refresh. Alex is now looking at this. Still looking at it. So wait for this to finish. In the meantime, we can close some things here. And the online add-in that I cloned can go. And this repo that's not used anymore. Isolation bundling that was fixed by just recreating the CSS file again. This is my comment for the repo for the fix on the original demo that I used as a source for the Blazor part. Is it ready already? Is it ready already? No, still running. Let's see if there's some shocking things happening. Putin unleashes war on Ukraine. Already at least 57 people have died following Russian attacks. Well, if this continues, then that number will be much higher. I also don't understand anything about this one. Russian forces seize control of Chernobyl nuclear plant. Well, oh yeah, I have an ad blocker, that's right. Why in name of anyone would he want to seize Chernobyl again? Because that plant is simply so dangerous. Still nuclear. Maybe it's a good thing if he's going to sit there for a long time and then get some radiation. Yes, this was fixed. So now go to reload the production version in Word. Let's have a look. Blank document. Now we have to go into the insert thing again. Make sure that we have the published version. This is the published version. Edit. So this is now running on Azure. You can do it yourself. If you go to the URL mentioned in the manifest over here. Manifest is Blazor test demo Azure websites.net. If you open this in the browser, you will see that's the exact same demo. But you have to make sure that you're running this in the context of Word, because otherwise it will fail. Because this is interoping with Word, like this, with the setup where I create some paragraphs and then insert some content controls and modify the content controls. I'll delete this and then try the first add-in. That's working. Cool, everything's working. Hello world. request context demo. That's the same content control thingy where I add some paragraphs, but that's using a different mechanism. Oh, that's this one, by the way. Creating the paragraphs. And a different Blazor Interop method. I should say the JavaScript is different for interacting with Word on that one. So that all seems to work. Now I have some time left that I want to have a look at the return value that I get from the number of paragraphs. I got stuck at that last time. Close all tabs. Let's for kicks put some comment in the one in here. Where's my project there? Code. Blazor add-in. This one. Cool. Back to where we were. The CSS can now go. Go in here, and now I wanted to have a look at one of these components. That's, I think, maybe the first one. Where I count the paragraphs. No. This one then maybe. This one, yes, that's content control details. If we run, we put this back to debug again. Let's run this. last option, the content controls. I think that's this one. Detailed. There's now paragraph counter 0. If I run this in Word, where is it? Let's reload it to make sure that we have the debug version. That's not a debug version. I need to rebuild it first. Clean solution and then rebuild. Then check the manifest if it's picking up the right manifest. Let's wait for the output to complete. Yeah, the final step is copying the local version manifest into this location here in the root folder. So if I now run this, it should give the localhost version again. You can already see it in here. There. Let's run Word there. Blank. Then insert my add-ins, shared folder, localhost version. Add. That's this one. Let's pick the content controls page. Paragraph counter 0 is now 0 paragraphs. If I do the detailed setup, it will have 5 paragraphs in here. But this is returned by a string, I think, if I remember correctly from last week. And for some reason I was not able to make that returning an integer. If we do something like this, now paragraph count should obviously also be an integer then. And that should be set to 0 by default. Well, that's not necessary because it's already a 0. Integer always defaults on 0, I think. But now this paragraph count thing, why is it squiggly? Yeah, source changes, it's still running. The paragraph thingy there, it's doing now toString, while I would think it was an any. Convert. No, let's change any JavaScript to integer C#. Parse any to int. That should be the other way around. Oh, let's just try it out first. Where is it? Number of paragraphs. Hello, hello. I mean, it's my. Where were you from again? Is it Afghanistan? I'm not sure. I remember correctly. Probably not from the Ukraine. Paragraph count. Let number of paragraphs is 0. And from this one, the fetch first thingy there, they changed this into the JavaScript part to const, so this should be, yeah, where you came from. I think you're now in Belgium, I think, if I remember correctly. Our neighbor country. I don't think we will ever get in war with Belgium. Where is it, the content control thing there? This document is context document. Algeria, yeah. Yeah, now you're neighbors. We are neighbors. I really like the Belgian culture with the French front. I think you don't call them French fries in Belgium because the patate in Belgium and the waffles. Really like the waffles in Belgium. Let paragraphs. Is that also a const? This is picking it from the context. Load all, so that's really nasty. I think you should only load the things that you need, because this will be slowing down things down. Well, it's bad time to be in Brussels with current Ukraine. Yeah, that's true, because Brussels is the center location of Europe for now, the European Union, I think. And if Mr. Putin thinks that he wants to do something, Brussels will be most likely be the first one to target. And that's really close. Not too happy about that. Number of paragraphs. That's of the type length. It's all any. There's all any. And I saw a YouTube thing. They did something like console dir. Not sure if that's doing something that we can use. That should show the complete object, I think. Also, I have something error in here. Maybe you can also catch the error there. Copy. Oh. Error debug. That's interesting. Let's attach that to this as well. Catch function error, JSON string error, instance of Office extension error. So we're learning here something from the the basic demo as well. Save this and let's run this and see if that's actually working. Yeah, basically I'm fucked up. Yeah. Beep. I'm not sure I have a beep sound in there. I do have a purge. Oh, yeah. Not sure if that's the right context for today. It's more like this one. Wow. Thrilling. I think it will be a funny story. A dude leaves family and friends for and hope for a better future, but then he dies at the end. Yes, if I don't know if you heard of the Apple hostage situation in Amsterdam. What was it, yesterday or the day before? Where one of these guys was taking one of the customers as a hostage, and there was one dude actually coming from America. He decided to come to the Netherlands to live in the Netherlands because he wants to avoid situations like that in the Apple store. And now he got the same situation in the Netherlands as well. So it's even sad story. Everyone getting into war, and it's terrible for your finances, and gas will be much more expensive. Sad things are happening. Bad luck. Maybe it's karma. Let's run this in Word. Let's load this, then let's Ctrl F5 it to make sure that's the latest version. Content controls. Detailed setup. And it started to put this in, but I'm pretty sure that the paragraph part failed again. Unhandled exception rendering component. An exception occurred executing JavaScript interop. The JSON value could not be converted to int32, system int32. So it's not even, I think it skipped the, let me see, there already number of paragraphs, so that's 5. That part is this one. And this one apparently, I think, did nothing. But then it tried to return. What does it say here? Cannot get the value of a token type string as a number. That's really cryptic. You too, have a good night. For you, it's already also 12 o'clock, 4 past 12. I should stop as well, I think. But I really can't stand that this is not adopting a number there. Anyway, you have a good night sleep, and see you next time. Google. Let's search for this one. JSON value could not be converted to system int32. So apparently system text JSON. Let's first have a look. Apparently I've been here before. the JSON object that's returning it. Property SAI. JSON serializer. Allow reading from string. What's denim then? That's this thing. Better parse the values to integer and send the data to server side. In .NET Core 3, the deserialized process is done using system text JSON, not Newtonsoft JSON. Newtonsoft. Why would you want to add Newtonsoft if you... First you should create a JSON converter for it. Getting a result. The thing is that I can't see what I get returned there. If we go into code here, apparently I get something back from here that seems to be not to be a number. Where is it? There, I think. No. There. That's not allowed. I should bring a type in there. Object. That's not allowed. I would expect something that you have an integer there, but I think this invoke async returns something different. What was it? Invoke async. Custom serialization. By the way, here change the type of your variable in .NET if you want to change the return type of the JavaScript function. the type of your variable in .NET. That's what I did. Where is it? There. So it works if you do something like, where is it? I lost it. The paragraph count, yeah. It works if you do this string paragraph count, and then let's see, where's the invoke there? No, that's not the invoke. There's invoke. If we do string in here, and then I will do something like, well, this is probably already working. The JavaScript thing is this one. What I had previously was toString. This is working. If let's try this again, build it. Yes, I want to stop debugging. And also close the Word document there. And the other one. That's built now, so let's run this. So it is now running as a server, and then we open WinWord to load the add-in, the Blazor add-in, in there. Control F5 to make sure that it's actually the right version. Now you see, oh, I did not initialize it yet, but if I do this, now you see it's updated to 5. But this is a string, and what I wanted to do in here is not converting it in the middle, because I think the number of paragraphs is already a number. Let's see if we start with this one. Close this. Now run it. Build it first. Because this will just return anything. That sounds strange. It returns anything. Obviously it returns anything. But I mean any. And it should be converted then on the other side as an integer. Is what I wanted to do, but that seems to fail in the context of this add-in. Let's Control F5 it first. This is still working. But it's still a string on the other side. At least it's good to see that's no need for the toString there. Let's, yeah, don't save it. So I was thinking at the exact same thing that you were telling me, is to go in here and change the paragraph count. Oh, you mean maybe just because if I make this an integer, now this will fail because it needs to return as an integer. And if I put integer in here, then build it. It still builds. Then run it as a server. by default this will be 0, I think, because it's an integer. Yes. Run this in Word, Windows Word, to create some paragraphs there. Some actual paragraphs. Controls, you should now see 0. Let's do the inspect on this. Console. It did not return any paragraphs yet. So if I now run the detailed setup here, I generate 5 paragraphs. Now it's failing. If you go to look in this, you see the number of paragraphs is still 5. It even shows me the number of 5s there. But on the receiving part, it will now complain that the exception occurrence executing this JavaScript interop, the JSON value could not be converted back to int32. So that's a strange thing that I did not expect to happen. It looks like it's done by the JSON serializer. Google. And that's another thing, the camel case, that I ran into that previously on another project as well. Where's this one? Because I think it's related to this, the new thing there, system text JSON, instead of the Newton soft JSON interpreter. What is it? Serializer. API response of type T. Okay, give an example of problem. When I deserialize JSON with an error, it says strings present when integer is expected. I get perfectly useful descriptive error, exact position, JSON thingy. The problem here is that JSON text JSON only supports dictionaries with string keys. Oh, that's interesting. New .NET Core JSON does not serialize dictionary key value, non-string key. Must be primitive type, not a custom type. See supported key types. I said plain int is not supported. So do I need to bring in int32 or something like that? This one, temperature Celsius. Allow or write numbers in quotes. Number handling. string forecast. Interesting, I'm working on a proof of concept at work about sharing some code between front and back, React and .NET, and Blazor could be a solution. I'm searching in the Microsoft doc about your error. Yeah. I'm also on Microsoft docs here. And indeed, Blazor, there is an example, I think, from mixing React and .NET in Blazor. That's just a comparison, but there's an option to do React in the context of Blazor. You don't see that here. Non-string key. String 1 doesn't deserialize non-string values in string properties into string properties, but I don't want a string property, I want an integer property. Scenarios using JSON serializer. Did you try wrap your integer in an object to see if it works in this case, like casting it as an object? So it can be done two ways. Close this. There are two options. You can either make this an object, that's allowed. It's a field of your object. Now it's a property. It's a field. A wrapper class containing an integer value. So you like in a return, yeah, something what you saw in here. You have this public class there. And put an integer in there. So do you think that it's returning something like this, but then only with this one. It's not working with brackets now. So let's try that. Class wrapper. Something like this. Then we're returning the wrapper in there. Then this should also be a wrapper. Wrapper. What's it complaining about? Yeah, that's because this is not, I think. Yeah, that's green. Then something like this. Copy. That will be something like this. And then paragraph, that should be my property value. And my property value should be a real integer. There's an interesting theory there. I need to refactor naming something. Let's run this. Let's see how this performs. Was it still running? It still was running. Let's rebuild it. Oops. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's not nullable yet. Run this. Why is this? No. Paragraph count does not exist. Oh, I messed things up there somewhere. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That should be wrapper. Oh, that's not in there. It should be my property. And then value. Five. Need to change the JavaScript to make it work. What should I do with the JavaScript then? That should return JSON something. Should it return a wrapper then? Yeah, into what? Change the JavaScript function into what? There. how do I do that? Oh, JSON. That's not Friday 13th. Well, it's Java. Bracket. Bracket value paragraph count. Well, let's see, bracket value paragraph count, number of paragraphs. But I need to do something with. Can you do just this? Would that work? Do you think that's working? I'm not a JavaScript hero at all, so I'm learning on this part. Let's see if it compiles. So, do you want to stop debugging? Yes. If this is true, that JavaScript is really crazy stuff. That's what you. Oh, I need to run it. Otherwise, there's nothing happening. Then we sit here tomorrow again. Wrapping around will help the serializer, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure either. Winward. And I do think it's a lot of work just by returning an integer. Obviously, I could also do it the other way around, accepting a string and then converting that to an integer. But I would think it should be easier to do than that. Oh, that already fails. Okay. Object reference not set to a reference to an object. What? Rendering. What's not rendering there? This is already not working. This is the main page. Why is the main page not working? That's this page. It's not even related to that, I think. Oh, that's working. Oh, it is related to the specific page. Yeah. Then it gets, maybe this wrapping workaround will help the serialization. Yeah, that's the previous comment, I should say. And then it gets worse. It's almost like we are interacting with Russia. Every day it's getting worse. Yeah. That's interesting. It's picking it up as a number now. That's good. Let's check the other side. Wrapper gives a property. Oh, object not set as. Oh, that's the problem. Yeah. Property, this one's nothing yet. If you start with it, the property should be. Where's my. Do I have a constructor in there? No. Yeah, there it is. I think this is the issue because when you start, you have an empty property, and that's a null. And I try to read the value, even though it's not even loaded yet. So let's rebuild. It's just a stupid beginner issue. You should not have this. After 30 years of programming, you should know this up front. And it's even warning on compiling that you get a null object there. Because this one should also work already. Yes. So now that should be better on this side as well. Load the add-in there. Then go to the content controls. Now it's loaded and starting with 0. Yeah, and then it fails again. Inspect. JSON value could not be converted to a wrapper. Now it's not allowed to do to convert it to a wrapper. But I need to deserialize it, I think, to a wrapper. Yeah, that's a challenge. And I'm pretty sure it's related to this this new JSON thing. I think it's much more limited compared to the JSON soft Newton JSON Newton soft. What's it called? Yeah, thanks for the follow. Meatwat787. Appreciate it. Always like to follow. Currently at the magic number of 80 followers. I think it's the same as I've seen on my screen. I don't know, I don't see it. Yes, 80. Only 20 to go, 200. No, not 200, 200. So at least I already learned now how to wrap something in a JSON. Now we need to learn the new system thingy, system JSON text to adopt the specific object. Differences in default JSON serializers compared to Newton Soft. I'm tempted to just jump to Newton Soft again, but I'd like to try the new .NET 6 versions. Trailing commas. So there's example class. Weather forecast. In the weather forecast there's also an integer. So this one creates a specific converter there, but that's really overkill just to get an integer back. Runtime ignore converter. This is just stupid just to get an integer back. Big integer. Types without built-in support. Doesn't provide built-in support for the following types. Big integer. Yeah, that's something completely different. This is the weather forecast with default. Weather forecast required property converter. By doing this, you have to rewrite all these things just for an integer. Not sure why. Converters. Default ignore. Number handling. Google to integer. Some examples of types that can be handled by the basic pattern include int32. Non-supported exception. Int32 JSON converter int. Oh. If it's a string, then it's trying parsing it to integer, and then returns value. If the token type is JSON token type number, then it returns an integer. So how do you use this then? Let's try finding that. Google. Combined with the option for invoke async. That's a result, but that's not an integer result. Serialize object. No. WebAssembly JavaScript runtime class. Invoke async. Type of value. Was there a deserialize in here? JavaScript options. Converters. There's really no explanation or whatsoever. Oh, let's go back in here. Because there are options in here somewhere as well. Evoke async, there's no options in there. So I think I need to get some sleep over this. Usually this, when you wake up the next day, then in 5 minutes you have this solution. Although I've been looking at this much more than 5 minutes already. So let's bring this back. Oh, let's leave it the way it is. Just don't check it in yet. And then maybe I can have a look at it at the weekend. It's 50 past 12 already in here, AM. I have to get up at 6 again, 6 AM. So that's a short night already. Yeah. Let's have a close this. A bit of sleep. Yeah, that's really a little bit of sleep. Let's close that. And let's quickly have a look at the repo here. The pull request that I pushed into fix. Let's see if there's an update on that. Don't think so. Oh. Maybe we're talking about different start. Oh, that's, yeah. wasn't thinking. Start button. Oh, there's an YouTube spammer again. Thank Emojin Sitwell for your spam link on YouTube. For your information, this spam link will be filtered out by YouTube automatically. I made it to work another way here, .NET calling JavaScript with objects, but I didn't try. Is that a link? That's something different. It made a link because there's a dot in there. I made it to work the other way. Here, calling JavaScript with objects, but I didn't try. Well, I do have a Discord server, so you might be putting it on Discord if you think you have a solution for that. You are on Twitch, eh? Yeah, Twitch. So if you go to my channel, in my about, there is a Discord link. So if you would like to paste something in there, then you can do that. And I will have a look at it next thing tomorrow. Let's finish this quickly. You can leave the comment. We'll look at it tomorrow and come back if something working. That would be cool. Yeah, so I also submitted some additional information on the pull request that I pushed in for this repo thing on the Office Docs pull request. So that's also a good thing. Let's go to my profile. Let's see what's showing on my profile. Apply suggestions from code review. Is that it? That's something different. Yeah, okay. Let's go to this. My profile. Let's see what's on there. Currently, longest streak. I reordered my project a little bit. Software Software, my website. The Blazor add-in that we have been working on today. And apparently I'm doing most things on JavaScript. That's quite surprising because I'm a .NET developer. And even though my most used language is JavaScript and also TypeScript, so combined it's almost everything. I use the attribute here, JavaScript, JS invocable and JS function in .NET. Let's make a copy of that comment and put that in my notes there. And that's notes for what's today, 25 already. February 25. So I will have a look at the JS invocable and the JS function. Yeah. Good, great assistance there. Maybe we can solve it sometime. Let's see if we can rate someone. Is there someone available? What are we into today? Callow creation. Or game developer. Tim Baudet. I think that's also fun. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it, especially the help with this. Let's start the rate for Tim Baudet. Thanks everyone. See you next time, and hope to be back next week on Tuesday. Please follow if you like, and otherwise subscribe. Bye bye. Where's my end tune? There we are.